there's one story that I can't resist. I have to ask, and if you don't feel comfortable sharing this,
Sure.
it's absolutely okay. But when we were hanging out together in East Texas, and then afterwards, you were talking about this amazing situation back in the day where your grandma, speaking of people that you wouldn't necessarily want to be hanging out with, and intuition, and where's that coming from? Your mother or your grandmother used to do a little bit of work, a little bit of advisement, giving some information to folks from the FBI. Is that right? Would you
Yeah.
feel comfortable talking about that a little bit? I
Yeah.
mean, it's amazing. It
Yeah.
didn't fit into the show, and it's
Sure.
exactly the kind of thing that we want to sit here and be able to kind of double click on, if you feel comfortable sharing with the
Yeah.
audience
I'll
about
share it.
that. I'm curious.
Um. So okay. So one of the things. So I talked about how she loved kids and animals, and she's still alive, right? Um, Kids and animals, and if something was happening to a kid or even an animal, like it was like she had this heightened awareness about it, and so she would have dreams, right, about things that are specifically happening to kids, and sometimes those dreams would be, you know, uh, call it premeditated, preemptive, whatever, precognitive. Um, and so it might be, hey, this child is about to get murdered, and I, need to do something or intervene, something, to happen. Sometimes it would, sometimes she'd be able to influence it. A lot of times she wouldn't. It was almost like she couldn't do anything about it. And so she always said to me, at least, that she felt like she had this like obligation of like, okay, I saw this thing, I gotta try to prevent it. But it's almost this burden of you try to prevent it, but you can't. And so sometimes these things would happen. She'd get little details, and then she called the police. And in one case, she called the FBI, and at least it's her recounting the story to me. She called the FBI, and she was having these recurring dreams. She would see the same guy going around killing children. The guy um, ended up, being this child serial killer, and she would see these murders happening. And she even describes, I don't even know what you want to call this, but she's there, she's seeing him, and it was almost like he knew she could see her, but he would like taunt her, like, you can't catch me, kind of a thing. And she would try to get details and find little details, and then she shared that information back with the FBI.